Hello there everyone and welcome back. It's time to do match 4 of the YouTuber League, and it seems like some of the hard matches are kind of out of the way for now. That since I've dealt with Amazon's 4, my next opponent is going to be a heavily battered and arguably kind of newer type of Skaven team. And right now, they're missing a gunner runner and I think at least 2 linemen, well, a thrower and a lineman. I believe they start off with 2 of these throwers. So they are a bit limping, they are a bit wounded, but with the possibility of petty cash, they can still be a scare. I just have no idea if they actually have enough to get a wizard, or even a big star player to kind of fill out the roster some. So, in theory, this should be pretty good for me, but if it is a newer player, I'm going to probably, I'm going to try and help them out for at least a more positive experience for them later on down the road. Although, it helps if I knew what the hell I was talking about, since I haven't really played Skaven so much, but I have been brushing up on their strategy and playstyle a bit, so at least I have an idea what to expect potentially. Since these gutter runners, hands down, are like the most annoying and most, the most difficult thing to deal with, just because they're agility 4 on top of dodge. Sure, they may be strength 2, but when they need to roll skulls, most of the time to get behind my backline and threaten to steal the ball, it's unlikely I could stop them without certain skills or at least having really solid formation. So, I don't expect miracles as far as denying them. So, like I said, it's going to come down heavily to formation, abusing the armor 7 that they have access to, which thankfully having 4 block players will help in that regard some. It just remains to be seen, since I feel like I was screwed over a tiny bit in the Amazon match, and while it was balanced out with the sweltering heat in the second half, the problem with that is I got no experience for it as a result. My opponent got a whole bunch of experience from all the wounded and casualty results. So, even though I did tie it up for like 2 turns, it did not favor me, at least for the long-term process with another 10 matches to go. But either way, this could be an opportunity to bounce back. Only one way to find out, though. Otherwise, just let me know when you're ready then. Oh, you already sent the invite. I didn't see it pop up. Sorry about that. Let's get this going. Now,
How much petty cash? Ooh.
You can get a wizard, or you can maybe afford the gutter runner. I don't know if that's ideal or not, but it will at least give you a 4th gunner runner. Unless the other star players are more ideal. Wizard can be tricky, but it's really powerful if used right. Since you have to remember to use it at the very start of your turn, because otherwise it'll immediately end your turn if you don't.
Oh, okay.
So it can be tricky to remember, but it is pretty impactful because it forces me to try and not stall, basically. Especially with your gunner runners, again, being able to just steal the ball from under my nose a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But you have 70 seconds to think about it, so take your time.
That's what I'm doing.
Sadly, I'm not able to look through any of these to kind of help you with what you got. All I know is you got one, Storm Vermin that has strength 4, I think. The gunner runner I mentioned before was Shadowing Stab. The wizard. 20 seconds. Ooh, you're getting fizzed up. So you have 50,000 for Bloodwiser Babe too.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think that may need to be for a Bloodwiser.
Yep, let's see, Fez. Doesn't quite have mighty blows, so might not murder me too badly.
Yeah. Cheers, Gladiator.
If I can somehow knock it down at least once, which is going to be a tall order due to Dauntless needing to roll a 5 or higher, then it's knocked out, and I think it's an illegal weapon too, so...
Yeah.
Do I chance that or not? Probably not.
Yeah. Straight in after the raping he gave me, Romkin.
Good thing he didn't have him for that ride. Good God, that would immediately knock him out probably. Since I think a rule with the chain balls, if they ever get knocked down, it's an immediate knockout, maybe? Maybe the ride and things like that is kind of the exception.
Yeah, I got something out of it. I got the tie out of it, but yeah, that was a pretty brutal beatdown.
Yeah. So if you want, you can leave your ball and chain in the side if you want, so that way it doesn't get ejected. Wherever you think you might get most value. Because if it's out, I'm kind of encouraged to try a touchdown quickly to get rid of him.
Right, you can stay there.
Yeah, we need like a 5+, I think, to get the Dauntless to succeed on him.
Well, I think he's got to stay there.
You do have a spare lineman, so it's not like he needs to, since I'm going to bash first.
Yeah.
It's if I ever knock any of your players out, then he would be forced to stay in.
So how'd you take him off?
Yeah. At the very least, if I touch down early or get lucky enough to knock him down, then he is basically out for the rest of the match.
Yeah.
He can be a little bit tricky to maneuver since he's random. He's completely random in how he moves too.
Do you know what? Let's go for that.
Alright then. Yeah, let's see how to best do damage here.
Yeah, but the only thing is, dude, it's part and parcel. Right, obviously, the beatdown's part and parcel of the game.
Yeah, which is why a lot of the times you want to keep it to a minimum of 3 players. In your case, you have 2 loners, which are great fodder for you.
Yeah.
Even if they get injured, you lose nothing. But sadly, only one of the linemen or loners are in front. But good luck to you nonetheless.
Good kick off, quick snap.
So I can move 1 space forward. This basically gives me free blocks on these 2 on the side. So I don't have to burn a blitz to do it. Don't think there's much need to move any of my other guys in front, because I'm kind of fine with... Unless I dare to attempt to bash Fez, which may be a mistake.
Yeah, no. Yeah, literally the past 2 games are absolutely brutal.
Yeah, a lot of randomness, and that's the appeal for a lot of players, because it allows experience to shine a lot of the time, because you... No.
Your match is being reviewed by Lagged Out League Office. Oh.
Okay, first down there. Ooh, that forces a reroll there. That's why the blockers and the blitzers are so valuable. Well, even then. That was still double skulls. There. So wrestler or your blitzer's down, and I may relegate myself to fouling him.
Yeah.
Since he's the valuable one. I'm afraid to say, but... But no armor breaks, so we're gonna have to change that. And he survives, so... One final chance. Well, I probably shouldn't have followed up. That gives you a free block, but...
Yeah, one reroll burnt so far.
Yeah, good start. Now, do I really want to... I don't know how well this will work. I'm not familiar with the ball and chain. If this would still force a dodge out of you, I don't think it actually does. Even if you were to move away from me. So I'm just going to have to focus on formation a little bit here. And since I burned my reroll, I'm afraid the pickup's going to fail, and I want to try and get rid of your blitzer right away. Your one lowly blitzer.
No, he survives.
And I didn't get ejected, so he's doing better already on his ratio. Okay, I did pick up the ball. So that's a good start. Now, this is where the gunner runners are scary, because I got an open area on your left there, basically, where the gunner runners can easily run through. So we're going to have to try and patch that a tiny bit. Although Fez could easily... has the potential to kind of make his own opening there in the middle. But the one thing to be careful of with Fez is, again, it's a random dice roll. He can go into 3 spaces in the direction you want him to go. So he has a chance to hit your own guys if you're not careful.
Yeah, Stoney.
And in this position, it probably is heavily against you. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yep, you hit your own guy there. I don't know if that would end the turn immediately.
Yep.
It does. Yeah. That you basically need to roll a 1 or 2, I think, or it's a 5 or 6 to go straight into the middle.
Yeah.
But now, I have to either fight, punch him, or run. Which is never a fun thing.
Well, that just went over here. Didn't go too great.
Well, your blitzer's still alive, so that's...
Yeah.
You already foiled my plans, thank you very much.
Maybe I should start using the ball and chain as the last manoeuvre.
It certainly doesn't hurt. At least the loners or the more random ones, definitely. You almost... like, if you didn't... If these 3 linemen, basically, that are next to my guys, if you didn't want to bash with them, it certainly doesn't hurt to have them move last, since they're most likely to fail. Now,
I'd like more stuns and players down. I don't think my team can take any more dead players.
yeah, it can be brutal, but that just means more petty cash and more journeymen to serve as fodder for you, which helps lighten the blow a lot.
Yeah.
This is going to be a bit scattered, I suppose, my formation, so I worry this is not going to work out to my liking.
Double.
Well, knocked down.
Count. I can deal with that.
Yep. I'm just really worried about the potential of your gutter runners. Since half my team's on the right, the other half team is on the left. And so now you have an easy window to dive bomb my ball carrier. Unless I get aggressive now. And this is also risky because I want to try and get this guy his level up in, but this will burn my second reroll if it goes badly. Which thankfully did not.
He gets it.
We'll see if that was a mistake or not, since I think this is a go for, isn't it? Yeah, might have been safer to go 1 back. It pays off, though. But you have such mobility, you can really pin me down there really well. My one suggestion, if you're going to have the gunner runners surround me, is make sure you don't get next to me. Just keep one space away, since I can only blitz once a turn. That way, they're not as likely to get murdered.
Yeah, he's...
Yeah, and that one dice block wasn't too terribly risky, since it's only a skull that would really screw me over. I just wanted to get away from Fez. That is sucky, but I'm not going to burn the reroll for it. I was hoping to at least push him back so that way my blocker can get up and move away. That was the idea there. Since right now this should be a bad predicament for me. Just try not to, well, try not to stand too many next to me there unless you're going to blitz. Which your blitzer or Stormfirm is ideally the one you want to blitz with. No, just try and keep him a space back. You want to try and pin me in there, not because there is always a chance I could beat you back, especially since that with the gunner runners. And ideally, I want to try and touch down next turn. So the more you have in front of me, the harder that's going to be.
Yeah.
Since I'm going to get overwhelmed, I think, especially if Fez does the damage he can do with his strength 7.
Him now.
So that works out well. There's only one little opening where I can go directly to the left. So you would need to fill that gap, otherwise I can just run straight through. Let's see, do you have any other gunner runners? Those are 2 moved. Oh yeah, those are just the 3, then you have the lineman, okay.
You to there.
Okay, so you have your catcher, which can move back if you want, or throw a ratter.
Yes.
And then all the other ones are going to be dice rolls of some kind.
Yeah.
So see what you want to do with the throw there. Probably want to try and back him up to fill this one little gap. Since I can go directly to the left there and just go around your gunner runners basically. If you want to see what your tackle stones look like, you can actually select one of my guys too, and it should show for you, I think. So you can see where the blind spots are, or the openings.
Let's get you.
Yep, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
He's going to be my main target to block since he's the only one that I need to get rid of. So now, with 20 seconds... Okay, you hit my one. So you can go right again. There's a good chance you hit one of those 2. And you could potentially injure the guy who's knocked down. There you go. That was an injury, so congrats to him. No long-term effect. But I'm not going to get any experience for him, sadly. Now, do you want to go up or down?
Let's go. That way.
Nope. I think you could do one more move before you have to worry about dice rolls. Alright, so now this is a risk if you want to keep going. 7 seconds.
Nope.
Alright, so just get up the 2 knockdown ones quickly.
Crap.
No worries. You can let that go if you want. You only got 1 second. What I was thinking you do is just get them up so that way they force these 3 to not be able to support. Tie them up a little bit longer. But that's kind of how you want to do those dodges anyway. If you don't expect them to succeed, or they're not important, then you can save them till the very end.
Yeah.
Let's see if I regret this or not. That seems like I might regret that.
There's the pal.
Yep, but that burnt all my rerolls, so anything can go horribly wrong here. Because I want to save that reroll for the touchdown attempt, which would have been a go for it. I might still have to attempt it.
Yeah, here's my chance.
That's a 1 dice there. Just to be safe, I better move these two. I just wish this one blitzer in the middle had dodge. I feel a little bit more comfortable about dodge with him to try and get a cage going. But if this goes badly or I don't knock him down, then I'm kind of stuck here. Is what it comes down to with that loss of the reroll.
Yeah. There's the pal.
Yep, now is the next concern. Since if I go for a touchdown, well, it's only a single go for it, but let's see if this goes badly. No, it does not, thankfully. That is not, even though that was a fast touchdown, that was not the way I wanted to go with 2 rerolls being burnt by turn 3. Especially with the double skull to boot.
Yeah.
So, a lot of mistakes are likely to happen for me, and you have the possibility to touchdown almost at any time with your speed. But it does get rid of Fez, which is a lot of the reason why I was looking to touchdown early.
Yeah.
And sweltering heat, I forgot about that. You lost no one, and I lost a single player to that heat. So now, the main thing you want to do with Skaven is to try and look for weak openings, like this one defender here is the perfect spot, as an example. If you can get your Storm Vermin to blitz, knock him down, or create an opening, then your gunner runners can easily just run through very safely. I just don't know if you want to try and brute force a fast touchdown or try and play slow though. And just keep an eye on, you have 3 loners, which you probably don't want them on the front line for, in case you get an injury and there's a chance the reroll might fail too.
Let's put you down.
Yeah, the only thing I don't... Okay, I was going to say, the only thing I don't like about this is the Storm Vermin don't get a 2 dice block, and they're the ones you want to block with.
Yeah.
So you could have swapped them with the lineman in the middle is what I was going to suggest. But there's 3 free blocks otherwise, almost. You get 2 dice for the ones in the middle if you try and attack. So start with them maybe, even though it is a little bit riskier.
One die there.
Yep, the 2 in the middle are the ones that have the 2 dice block. They just don't have the skill to make that a safe attack, or at least as safe. So you have a reroll, so that can Thankfully, that was not the loner. And that is a knockdown. And I have fens, so you can't follow me. So you're standing still there while I take this beating.
Yeah.
That's a stun. Which is better than all my other peasants so far. One of my very first peasants has only got like 3 turns in the entire season so far. And that's due to him keep getting injured on like the first few turns. So another knockdown there, good. That was also the risky one due to the loner, but
Yeah.
you got your Storm Vermin for a nice, easy, or at least safe block. And then you have another Storm Vermin to do your blitz with.
So let's go down.
There, have your pick of knocking me down or knocking me down even harder. So now it's the how do you want to use your blitz? Since, like I said, there's the idea with your gutter runners is to try and create openings to just run right through. You would just need one player to kind of give an assist is the main thing. That also works. You don't even need to knock me down. And you do have dodge, so basically you would need to roll snake eyes for those gutter runners to fail going through there.
Yeah. Alright, let's stick you down.
Yep, don't go too crazy going base to base with me since you're basically giving me free blocks. That works though. And you do get the knockdown.
Throw you that way.
And another stun there. So now the big question, do you want to run the gunner runners in and force me to try and deal with them and potentially give you a fast touchdown? Or do you want to try and play it a little bit slower? Yeah, and just basically the idea is try and leave him. You don't need to pass right away actually. You want to leave him out of reach so I can't get him, and then move him forward when you're ready to try and do the touchdown. So that way you can give it to any one of your gutter runners. Rather than allow me to just focus on the single one.
Yeah.
Unless you're confident that he won't get knocked down next turn immediately is the main exception. But otherwise, okay.
End it there.
Alright. I was wondering if you're going to move the rats forward or not. Or the gutter runners. Because you basically next turn what you can do is have that thrower go basically to the middle of the field, do his pass there for basically it may be an easier chance of succeeding as opposed to the one you were thinking of doing, since he has a lot of mobility. And like I said, I can easily just blitz one of them, but since I can only blitz once a turn, that leaves the other two vulnerable. So if you had made that pass, then I immediately do this to him.
Yeah. Immediately blitz him. And
Yeah. Although I don't have rerolls, so it could still go in your advantage, but that's the risk of doing that. But since your gunner runners are still in the back, I could be a little bit safer knowing they're not threatening to score this turn. Because once you're basically 2 spaces on my half, you have enough mobility to just touch down from there on out, outside of go for it. I hope that wasn't my... Okay, I still have my dirty players still available. I was worried I may have burnt him prematurely. Because I don't like your storm vermin still, so I want to get rid of them. I just may not be able to get as many assists as I would want.
yeah.
And these guys can dodge real easily, so I'm wondering if I should get next to him or not. Since again, you basically need to roll snake eyes for him to fail.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. You gave him a pounding. But where's the one who was like a truly...
Not gonna be the most impressive foul. I just hope he doesn't get ejected, because otherwise you have another open window over here.
Stamp. He survives.
Knocked out,
No,
I'll
he's
live with
knocked
that.
out.
So that's one storm vermin out of the way. And he's still in play. Because if he got ejected, basically you can just run right through where he was standing with the gunner runners.
Yeah.
So now you can consider how you want to run through, since there are a lot of openings for you. That's a failed go for it there, so you may want to re-roll that. And I have Wrestle knock down your Storm Vermin, so you may want to just push, or if you... because your Gunner Runner can still dodge really easily.
Yeah.
The only exception is if you want to knock down my blocker, since Wrestle would knock my guy down.
There's that, right. So...
So yeah, you could just move him closer for an easy pass, but you're not close enough to just touch down right away, so...
No.
If you are going to try to pass, I now know who to go after. It's always possible you can pass to the other gutter runners, so...
You can get to...
Maybe what you can do is keep that one gunner runner back a little bit, and these other two can probably push forward and threaten the touchdown if you pass to them. If you're worried I might knock him down or steal the ball.
Get you to the up.
Alright. So the only option there would be to have either other players get in the way or form a cage around the ball carrier. Which is basically just surrounding him all four corners, so that way it's impossible almost to blitz the runner himself.
Go there. You there.
Alright, so there's just this one little corner that's left open. Now, there's one that's free, that's you can move for without any risk, and then there's the one here in the tackle zone.
Yeah. Let's throw some interference his way.
Yep, it certainly doesn't hurt. The loners of all of them, you probably want to put base to me, if you have no other choice. Since I have to risk dodging and maybe getting knocked down, or at least have to force a block on him. Which means he can't get on your ball carrier. That is the last move, so...
Down he goes. He's a loner anyway.
He's only stunned. He's just gonna have a nap.
Yeah.
Alright. So while not a true cage, it still means I can't quite get at him. Unless I knock down this one lineman you conveniently put next to me. Sadly, the one I have free doesn't quite have the movement to give an assist, though. Because that would be a go for it. Because I would like this one to blitz your gutter runner.
Yeah, rat's gone. He was a lineman, loner lineman though.
Although it is a one dice block, but that also means if I don't knock you down, I can't get my attempt on your gutter runner. So I'm not worried about falling down, I'm more worried about not knocking you down. So really would like that 2 dice. I'm just not going to get it without risk.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to show you is probably the main defensive formation you're going to see a lot of players do if I have the movement for it. Just one space away and then double stack it. So even if you blitz me, you still can't get through basically.
Yeah.
I'll chance the 1 dice, but let's at least make sure everyone's in position before this fails horribly. Actually, your gunner runner is able to touch down this turn, isn't he? Yeah, he can. It would require 2 go for it, but that's the sweet spot right where he's standing now. He has the potential to touch down if he's on that point or closer. You're likely going to touch down anyway with the reroll, so I might as well chance to go for it. Because there's very little, there's very little I can do to stop you. That's what makes the gunner runners annoying. Unless I have you completely surrounded or specific skills, you can evade me almost at will. And you are lucky you only got a push there. So, everyone's still standing, and at least I got my bases covered for tackle zones, but if you can manage this well, you probably will still be able to touch down this turn. Maybe. I just don't know what the tackle zones look like.
Yeah. There's 1 die there.
Nope, I can wrestle him down, but that still serves its purpose. No, you don't need to reroll that.
No.
It just knocks your storm vermin down. Unless you were expecting a different result. Since the wrestle, if I didn't use wrestle, that still would have done what... It still would have knocked me down.
Fuck me.
Yeah, a lot of dodges.
So in this case, move you to here.
Yep, that's a 2 dice block on the peasant. And that should free your ball carrier completely. It's just a question of where to go with the gutter runner. Or you could try passing to the one that's out in the open, but he can't touch down this turn. He's not close enough.
So what would that be? Dodge.
Yeah, that's a lot of
3
dice
dodges.
rolls. That I would argue that's quite in my favor. Yep, yeah, Gritty. I'm aware how wrestle works, but I don't know what the blitz was. Well, actually, it still serves its purpose anyway of knocking down my player. I just am still in the process of figuring out how to use it with when I have 4 wrestles on players that aren't the best at getting at the ball carrier, no less. Ooh, that seemed like a little more reasonable. 2 dodges, though.
Yeah, and 2 go for it.
So you know, it's a 75% chance since you have to dodge to succeed on the 4+. But if you burn the dodge, then you can use your reroll on the 2+. So it's not terrible for you. It's still in your favor if you want to chance it.
That's a lot of... No, it's a lot there.
Yep, that looks like your best.
There.
You have your dodge and you have your reroll. 3+, 2+, that looks better actually. Since that avoids the 4+.
Let's go for it. Okay, go on, my son.
There you go. You have a reroll if this fails. Nope. Congrats on your
Yes.
level up.
I think you're.
Yeah, no worries. No worries there, Gretty. It's just a question on how to get the most out of it. It's been helpful
Yeah.
against all the blitzers in the previous games, especially since the Amazons in my last match. It seemed like they were helpful.
Yeah.
It-
I got obliterated by Amazons.
It's just the skill set for these blockers that are going to be tricky to use wrestle how it's normally meant to be used, which is getting at the ball carrier effectively.
Yeah.
Since they can't quite get sidestep, which is one of the main ways you can do that. But congrats on tying up the score there.
I think you're right. That can go down.
Yep, and as a reminder, just put your loners on the front line, since they're the expendable ones. Since I'm getting the free blocks after all.
Hell no, that gutter runner can come all the way back here.
Yep. You'll just need to choose 3 rats to be your fodder. Yep, Wrestle has been really good at dealing with blocks so far. Was it? My last match was Amazons. I played against Dark Elves, which had 4 blitzers in my second match with Bretonnians, and High Elves for the first one, but I was just waking up, so I don't think I used my blockers the best in that match, to be fair. So it's been helpful. And it opens up extra avenues that I wasn't expecting, especially if my opponent gets the both down result on their turn.
Yeah.
Now, how many players do I have? Sweltering Heat's still a thing after all. We both lost 1 player. And you injured one of my dang blitzers because of your dang chain. I want him to get a level up too, thank you very much. So dirty player, I want to do what dirty players normally do, which is play dirty. I haven't seen the analysis, no. That was actually like 2 hours ago, I think, so I didn't get a chance to see it. And actually, I don't need my blocker back here anymore. He got his level up. Since I have only 3 turns to get a touchdown. Oh, I didn't notice you still have your gunner runner up here front here. Thank you for that. For the mighty tribute.
I'll just clock that.
Yeah, and it's the one that leveled up too, I think, so let me congratulate him personally. Ooh, high kick, I'll take that. Although... Oh. Okay, I was wondering why it wouldn't let me select.
Oh, touchback for fuck's sake.
Yep. Yeah. And it looks like... Yeah, it looks like you didn't aim it directly in the middle of the field either, it seems like. Because that blue X basically represents where the ball can't scatter off the field. Well, it can't. It can bounce off the field still, but that blue X is supposed to represent where it can't, where it's the safest point to kick at.
Oh, okay.
So it can only scatter 6 spaces, so that would put it along the edge. But it could still bounce out of the field. But if you're wondering why that was there, that's why. That's what it's for. Now, I'm a little bit worried about blocking since I got Snake Eyes on my first turn. This is the one subtle benefit of you having like more than 3 rats in the front line. I'm going to be forced to kind of block with them.
Yeah.
So I can't quite get the cage. So I may have to force a blitz.
Pow, down he goes.
Yep, that's a loner. We don't care about him. I hope.
Nope.
So Gunner Runner I don't like, so you need to go down. Sadly, you have dodge, so that didn't work out to my liking. So sadly, I don't quite get the cage I would like to push forward. So I'm gonna have to play a little bit safer. And since I did not knock down your Gutter Runner, or Storm Vermin, the dirty player is just gonna do the smart thing. Yeah, that was part of the reason I think why I think I lost my Amazon match is because I had a touchback even after email in the middle of the field. So it allowed Gojira to give the ball to their movement 7 blitzer. So they had the ability to touch down in 2 turns. In retrospect, I should have stalled that match to try and get an extra turn or 2 to maybe get the tie. Now, otherwise, I have 2 turns left to try and get a touchdown in. Which might be tricky to do.
Just get you up.
Alright, that's probably the best I could do to make it risky for your Gutter Runner.
Yeah.
Since anything less, he can likely get out.
You there.
So, let's see. I know who you are now. I just didn't recognize the name. Okay, so you're Bright Ops, I assume they're Gretty? I'm assuming? I think you're the one saying you had your match with Ogres. It's definitely timing out pretty well, isn't it, with the schedule so far? Gretty was just commenting on how we're getting a whole bunch of matches really early. We just started... Yeah, you actually got him out, you bugger. Not that I really care, but... the more those are injured, the more helpful it is for the second half. Yeah, it can be confusing not knowing who's talking there. Since I had no idea who you were up to this point till you mentioned you had your match with Ogres.
Run a bit of in.
No, this is going to be a hard part there. Since if I want to try and touch down the next 2 turns, I'm going to have to do something really risky and push forward aggressively. So what you want to do is try and at least have as many tackle zones at least directly in front of me. So that way I have to burn my movement going sideways. Although, if there's only one, I can still possibly blitz them down and create an opening.
Yeah.
But at least this way, this formation, if I were to try and blitz him, it's not actually possible for me to get a 2-dice block unless I do something that involves multiple players. And actually, with that said, I don't think I want to burn my blitzer, since he could move forward. The hell with it, I might as well wrestle for that opening I want. Because at least that way I can sprint through with him.
Yeah.
Maybe not the smartest choice since I wouldn't have anyone to support him. I don't like this because I need to go straight through for the tackle zone, so... Oh yeah, I did that wrong too anyway, dang it. I was thinking maybe that would give me the 2 dice block, but I need to have this blocker in the middle.
Yeah.
So half cage maybe what I have to do, but... Well, that's not really true, but it burns a lot of my movement going sideways.
You know, so what I'm trying to do is obviously
Alright, that at least gets rid of some more of a tackle zone. So that would be 1 go for it if I moved there. So, I'm not really optimistic on my odds here. Because going there will be 2 go for it. Oh, that was not what I wanted. I thought that I could have gone around. That was the only legal move it figured I could do, since maybe I didn't have enough movement to go around the safe route.
get you up to there.
Oh no, you're catching on to my plan.
You up. Stage you up.
So currently I can touch down if I go straight for the end, but it will require 2 dice rolls on top of whatever you put in my way.
Get you there.
That works to an extent, since I would kind of have to go around the gutter runner unless I risk a dodge. You'll just need more than 1, otherwise I'm just going to blitz him.
Yeah. Get you there.
There, that looks much better. I'm still going to blitz him though.
Yeah.
He might still be standing, which will screw me over, but I'm still going to blitz him. He's in my way, there's not much I can do about it. So if he dies, it's your own fault.
So I'm trying to get him a bit of support.
There, that looks much better. So at least if I blitz that 1 gutter runner in front of him, I still can't go straight through that path. What you probably want to do is have 1 directly behind the gutter runner, because otherwise I'm just going to go hug the edge of the field. If you don't have another tackle zone or player there. There you go. So now I can't blitz this one on the far right and just go straight through that way. Now it's just a question of blocking any other avenues to try and touch down. Which I'm not going to tell you what I'm planning to do next turn. 2 turns left. Do you want to reroll? The loner. The loner screwed you over.
I should have. I didn't think that one was the loner.
So let's see. 1, 2. I could still potentially make it with the 7 move without even blocking. Actually, I kind of want to be greedy and get experience too. Let me just look at experience here. Oh, that's not as effective as I think it is. Yeah, that still would be 2 go for it, so never mind that. That's not worth trying, but I do need to get him out of the way.
Yeah.
Thankfully, all these blitzers have passed, so this should work, right? There we go. That gets rid of a lot of that risk.
Yeah.
I just would have liked to level up my other blitzer.
Nice touchdown.
Thank you. We have a real game going on now.
Yeah.
And you have the potential to really quickly tie it up again.
Yo, Electro Rocks. Thank you for the follow, dude. Very much appreciated.
Oh god, 3 of my players got knocked out by the heat. 2 on your end, though. So now I have a massive opening for you to just cram your way through of all the gutter runners you can manage.
Yeah.
Have fun with that. It's my gift to you, I guess. Unintentionally, I swear. So there's very little I could do to kind of keep you from my half of the field. It's just a question on how comfortable... Oh wait, this is the last turn, never mind. For some reason I thought that was the end of the first half, so this isn't as terrible as I make it sound. There is possibility for you to do a 1-turn touchdown, but that's definitely a lot more complicated. It involves you pushing my player into your gunner runner, basically. An extra reroll. Because you might need it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So feel free to bash the lineman. Yep. Although the heat, thankfully, doesn't matter at all with... since this is actually a benefit to me, since it's less rolls for the second half. With 1 turn left here. And both of us have 1 in... Well, actually, I didn't get an injury yet. It's just Fez sitting on his dang chain ball. So I would argue you didn't lose any players yet.
No, which is...
Different. It's refreshing, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And thankfully my linemen are still standing. Which is a rarity. Ooh, free blocks, I'll take those. Although it is the last turn anyway, so... Do whatever you wish. There's nothing I can actually do about it.
Yeah.
You have 1 blitz though, so use that on your gutter, or storm vermin, to bash someone. Oh yeah, and I forgot about the storm vermin that I fouled and knocked out. He's back in play too. So that was short-lived.
No, you stay there. Right, so you... Reckon you can't really do much. So...
Yep, it's mainly just the storm vermin, unless you want to try what they call a vanity pass to try and get experience on your one of your players. Just pick up the ball basically and pass it to another player to get 1 experience point.
Yeah, that's...
It doesn't hurt to try, it's just a question on who you want to pick up and pass with. Yeah, it is a go for it, but again, you have a reroll, so it's worth trying. And then just keep him there and just pass to the gunner runner next to him. There you go. 1 additional experience point for him.
Whoop, whoop.
Congratulations, he's 1 step closer to level 3. At this rate, he might make it before the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, if you want a touchdown for me, please do it. I welcome you. Just make sure you give me the ball by the end of the half, okay? Or maybe you forgot which side is which half.
Yeah.
They are rats. They might not understand how to speak English or common or whatever the normal language would be. Now, how bad is it? Oh god, 3 are knocked out on your end. So that definitely did pay off for me this time. All 3 of them are your gunner runners. Holy crap.
Jeez.
Well, it was a good half for you, and now we're playing back to your normal type of games.
Yeah.
And I don't have an extra spare lineman, so my 30 player might get bashed. So this is going to be a lot easier for me, because those gutter runners are basically the star of Skaven, if you can learn to use them well. So I might be able to just brute force you and not worry about you running behind me. So the real trick you might want to try and do is be so intimidating that I'm forced to touch down early. So that way your gutter runners can get back in for next play.
Yeah.
Since you might be in a lot of trouble otherwise. Perfect defense. Don't know how helpful that is outside the ball placement. Actually, I could be pushing forward a little bit. That's since I don't have to worry about you quick snapping into me. Now, feel free to kill my peasants. Yeah, I guess that's true, but I'm pretty certain they speak the same language. It certainly doesn't sound like it when I select them. They sound like they're just grunting really loudly. I don't even want to know what the peasants are saying. Oh god, was it really that bad a roll?
Double both down.
Oh yeah, that's why the blitzer should have gone. It protects you from having to use the reroll, since you had him right there. Or storm vermin. You would have got that knockdown without having to burn the reroll.
Yeah.
Ooh, got the pow though. Now the big question, are you going to chance the 1 in 6 on my last lineman? Or are you going to try and get 2 dice? Ooh, only a stun. These guys are surviving so far. Now, like I said, do you want to try and give this Storm Vermin an assist for the 2 dice? Although, you're going to have to go back and around if you're going to move with him. There you go.
So that one's fast.
Yep, that Storm Vermin can move. You got a Blitz available too still, so you can potentially knock down one more of my players. Oop. Another stun, thankfully. It would tell you right away when you get hit, if it was a knockout or anything like that. So you have a Blitz left for the Storm Vermin, and you got a good chance to pick up the ball. Just keep him out of reach as much as you can. Otherwise, I might just blitz him.
Yeah.
So you still have a minute and a half. So the main things you want to do is either try and get some rats in the way so I can't get on your ball carrier or burn your blitz. So Storm Vermin can get 2 dice blocks on the one on the far right that you have a rat base to if you want. It will create a bit of an opening where he's standing though, is the risk. And if you back up there, that again still leaves that opening and I can get behind all your players, at least with a couple of them. Although, I might still be able to do that with this blocker still standing on the right. 30 seconds.
Is that go for it? No.
No go for it. And it has a good chance to at least push him back. So I do have Wrestle, alas, but it means I can't knock down your one line rat. So now's the question. This is as far as I can go without having to use a go for it, which means I can't blitz you this turn. Not safely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of this one line rat here, I can't get the 2 dice block I will want, unless I chance doing this. A lot of go for it, and I don't like it. Let's see if this works or not. I was wondering if maybe I can move the other players. No. There's a lot of go for it I'm gonna have to make. Let's see if I can surround this poor little thrower. That is not what I would have wanted. Failing to go for it on the first one. So I have a 1 in 3 chance of falling down again, basically.
Failed it again. No, we don't.
Yep. That was risky. I would have been fine if the second one had failed to go for it, since it's less risk that way. And sadly, this blocker is not able to be the most blocky. Do I chance one more, because there's an opening right in the middle there. Ooh, that paid off. I felt like I was pushing my limits there.
Yeah.
Because you can easily have swarmed everyone back there. Now you have to go the long way around, which helps a bit. At least they're being true to their name finally. They're blocking the path for you. Yeah, and now that there's 2 players next to you, that's going to give you a -2 penalty to even passing, so it's going to be risky. If you can knock one of them down, then the odds are a lot more in your favor. Because at least then you can dodge out.
Yeah.
Or just try a pass too. go for it. So working there. Nice. They do have blodge or dodge, so you got the one roll you needed though. Anything else would have just pushed them or just kept them standing.
Yeah.
Alright. Good luck with your game there, Bright. Hopefully the ogres don't murder you too much. So now, that basically reduces the penalty to your thrower. So you can pass a lot easier or you can dodge out a lot safer now. Alright. Are you gonna... There. Ooh, you got a nice 2 dice block there, so that works out well for you. Just don't murder the guy I just leveled up, okay?
I'll try not to.
Because your gutter runner is currently safe on the sideline. Even though you kind of need them. Because the only reason I chanced this was because the gutter runners aren't in play to kind of just run to the other side of the map or the field and just touch down.
Yeah.
And you do have a reroll, but it will burn your last reroll if you're gonna... Yeah, unless you... Ooh, that worked out nicely.
Do I attempt the throw?
Sadly, they would be out in the open, since all those other rats next to him have moved. He's safer with the ball, since I have to get through him first.
Dodge, dodge. Not
Yeah,
dodging that.
Yeah, just to let you know, it's basically the same odds to dodge out as it would be to push or knock me down if you want to do a 1 dice block.
Yeah.
So it depends on the situation. Would it be better to try and dodge away or to push me back or potentially knock me down? Since it is the same odds otherwise. There, I like that play. Since it keeps this one knocked down from safely being able to get out and moving. Although...
Yeah.
I do still get a potential 2 dice block there, but I like it nonetheless. Now I have a bunch of dead guys on my half of the field. That's an ill omen. So I tried to rush you down, it didn't work, so I'm probably going to have to play defensive again.
Yeah.
And I just moved with my dirty players, so that doesn't help me with trying to foul the storm vermin in the way. So give me a knockdown of some kind. That works. Knockout.
Okay, that's right, he's on.
He's a loner. You don't care about him anyway.
Nope.
But less players is good for me. So I do have dodge, so it is a 1 in 9 chance of this failing. But I don't want you to break through my line, so I'm going to chance it. Well, I forgot about to go for it, mind you, but it still paid off. That almost failed since it burnt my dodge. So now the idea here is I always want to have a player on your thrower. So that way you're forced to take risks with him now.
Yeah. Right. So. You.
And the idea with tagging your storm vermin there is so you don't blitz my one lineman and create an opening for you to run past me.
You onto him.
The only thing that might be good for you pushing on my half would be to somehow pass the storm vermin on the opposite side of the field. He has a window to maybe run by, but that's of course risky. So that does give you 2 dice blocks, so this could go well. Alright, you do knock him down. No, don't do it. Only a stun, okay.
So
Now your thrower is free to go wherever he wishes. And you do have 7 movements, so you could do what I mentioned before. Go over to the other storm vermin and pass to him if you want. He would be unprotected though. Alright, 1 minute left still, so you got plenty of time. Yeah, sadly, you can't quite get a full cage there. Oh. Alright, you get a chance to reroll. So he has it, but now it's the problem of him not being protected. Unless you want to chance that.
yeah, no,
Crazier things have happened.
it's true, but I don't.
Entire teams have been killed by the spectators previously, from what I hear. A little rat told me.
Yeah.
Dick.
It's down.
So I was not hoping for the 1 dice knockdown on my blitzer, but it happened nonetheless. So easy. Thing I would like to do is just blitz this guy here. And I have a good chance of doing it. So I might as well chance it right now and see where the ball scatters if I knock him down.
Yeah.
Since I do have wrestle and knock down this blitzer. But that works too. Okay, so nothing I can do about it there with this one guy, but... And I do have a reroll, but... I was thinking maybe I can just pass this one guy back and touchdown, but I don't want your gutter runners game back up. So I'm content to just stall it out a little bit longer. I just don't have the best placement.
Yeah. I like the first path he chose on that one.
Yeah, I can't imagine why. It involved a lot of dices, and dices are prone to fail. I don't think I'm going to pick it up yet, since that means you have a target. I like you having a hard time not picking it up. And then you get next to me and then I can bash you freely.
Yeah.
Wasn't as exciting as I would have liked, but... Oh, I should have pushed down. That could have gave me another free block, silly me. Or pushed up, rather, on your few. So, I have 3 players next to the ball, which again, puts like a modifier, a negative penalty if you try and pick it up. But you could potentially push one of my players into the ball to scatter it away. That might be the one thing you want to try and do.
Yeah.
It's not likely to work in your favor since I do have players like all around it. Ooh, I have dodge, so I survived this onslaught. Now let's see where the ball goes. Okay. Okay. It's not as bad as it was before. You have potential for your thrower to pick it up, but it's a 75% chance with my guy still standing.
Yeah.
But that's probably one of the better scatters for you.
Let's do this.
Please do. Yeah, that's not going to work either because you're walking right into another tackle zone. Working well for you so far on the 1 dice blocks.
Yeah.
You have no rerolls, so any skulls or both downs is going to screw you over.
Yeah.
So be careful with what you attempt. At least the throw has a built-in pickup reroll, so that's not as ridiculous to try and do. The dodge, maybe.
See if that works.
Got the pickup, but didn't succeed on the dodge, sadly. Now, quick, peasant, go pick up the ball with your measly 2 agility. Stupid idea, I know. That was my first impression. Try and have the peasant pick up the ball because he's wide open.
Yeah.
There, so this loner can go play with my peasant. If he survives.
No, he's just knocked out.
Yeah.
But it's a loner.
Yep, 2 players knocked out, so you are down to 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 6 players, so this is working well for me as far as just stalling it out to keep your gutter runners out of play. Sadly, there's no easy way for me to just run around your guys, since I'm kind of blocking my own path out.
Yeah.
The
No,
one-
I'm slowly learning how to like, sort of cause traffic.
Yep. So long as you're learning something from this, we can't have you being just injury fodder for everyone else now. We need you to show your fangs with these Skaven.
I would normally do if they all weren't sitting on the sideline heat stroke.
Yeah, because once you learn how to get the most out of them, they can do work. That and the Storm Vermin too, but they require specific upgrades to really be dangerous. And I guess I should move someone too, that might help.
Like, Claw's one of them, ain't it? To give to
Yeah,
Storm.
but it's a 1 in 6 chance to unlock it, I think, because you need to roll devils on the level up roll. But it's definitely a big one, especially when faced off against the heavily armored teams, the Banshee teams, because it opens up opportunities to maybe knock down one of their main players. And easier chance to knock them out or injure them too, so you can get open windows to just sprint through with your gutter runners.
Yeah. Claw, stab.
Stab you can't actually get access to, but it's a unique one that's great against like elves, from what I understand, if used properly. Okay, I was worried this was not a blitzer at first.
He is knocked out.
I can live with that. One less player to deal with. Now, do I chance the 1 dice or not? Who am I can't have dodge. And I can get a 2 dice block here too. Sadly, it wasn't what I wanted. Now, I was contemplating maybe pushing the ball, but I like where it's at right now.
Yeah.
And I guess these linemen are just going to sit and spectate. Since my dirty player doesn't really have the best opportunity to foul, I guess. So the only one that's currently free is the one Storm Vermin there.
Yeah.
So he's the only one you can move freely. And that should be 2 dice. Thankfully, he's one of my more resilient players. Alright, so less pressure on the other Storm Vermin. So now you have a 1 dice block with him. Unless you want a chance and assist for 2 dice, which I don't think you can do.
It's load of 1 dice. Get you up.
Got the POW, lucky bugger. That's twice in a row you knocked down my blodger. My block and dodge combo did nothing for me.
What's that one?
Still 2 there to deny, or at least make it difficult to pick that up.
Yeah. Do you know, I want to get you to there.
Yeah, you can basically position him on any angle. Whatever serves you best. Got another POW. Oh god, not another one. This is like the 3rd stun in a row on him, I think. He got his level up and then he decided to have a nap all game.
Yeah.
So now we have opportunities to grab this ball. It's just a question, well, it's a question if I want to try for a touchdown this turn or not.
Yeah.
Since I think I stalled long enough. Oh yeah, I forgot, this guy's dang blitzer, so I kind of want to deal with them the proper way. A push, a both down, any of these should work. There. Now I'm relying on a lineman to At least push this guy back. It's normally a heroic endeavor that's required of a blitzer or a knight, but the peasant's gonna do it. Wasn't meant to be. Well, I'll deal with a push. I just was hoping it wouldn't burn a reroll. Because now it makes trying to pick up the ball a lot more scarier.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now if I try and run for it, it'd be a bunch of dice.
Yeah.
Okay, I got the pickups. I am not going to try to go for it. I got lucky once, I'm not going to get a chance at it again. Now just going to make sure you're not able to chase them with your high mobility.
Yeah. Just run straight over.
I was terrified that might actually fail. Although, probably not as bad as I make it sound. I'm thinking you still have gutter runners to just sprint on to me. So now you have one final chance to maybe deny me the touchdown. Do go for it, and at least gain base to base as a start, but not a block.
Yeah.
Just keep in mind you have no rerolls, so chance all the minor stuff first. Save that kind of dodge for last, okay?
So first.
Because I think your thrower might be able to reach me, but it would require a dodge, going the same path that your open linemen were trying to do. It should only be one dice since I have another player base with the assist.
Oh crap! I just fucked that right up.
What were you trying to do?
Not that.
Yeah, because you got base to base with one of my other players, so... So he can do it, but... It's a lot of rolls, of course.
Yeah. Throw you into there.
Just throw all the rats into the fray. Oh yeah, I forgot I had two peasants in the back still.
Risk it for chocolate biscuit. No.
It was worth the try though to deny the touchdown. It had a respectable chance with the 3+ and 2 go for it. Now, since I'm relatively safe, I think I can get away with a couple of blocks maybe first. But let's not chance it too much. Yeah, that does absolutely nothing. Let me finally get some experience for this one blitzer.
Yeah.
Since they are kind of my star players, I need to get them leveled up.
Yeah.
Since so far my blockers have literally got no experience outside the MVP and the one pass. You saw this earlier.
Oh.
So let's see. One of your players got up. Your gutter runners are back in, so there's a real good chance you can get a touchdown before the game ends. And only one of your loners actually got knocked out by the heat. So, how many players do I have? I'm missing one player, so there's still a tiny window where you can blitz and sprint through. Oh, I have all 4 of my linemen out here, so I might as well get my dirty player in a proper spot. There, I feel a little bit better having the blodger there, because at least he's less likely to get knocked down.
Yeah.
So, position yourself. You got 2 turns to try and get a touchdown. So you want to try and get your gunner runners in an aggressive position. Not too ridiculous unless I can block them or deny them somehow with a kickoff. Or some kickoff event. Alright. Let's see if you can get that extra touchdown or not.
Yeah.
So this is probably as good as you could possibly get. Since the ball's over on the half where my weak area is at currently. And that was the lineman again, wasn't it?
Yeah.
At first I thought it was the blitzer you were doing that with, then that would have worked out perfectly fine. Now you only have 1 turn, and I don't think that's possible unless somehow I push these gunner runners, or these gunner runners get pushed forward.
Yeah.
Stunned. No rats were slain this day.
That's true.
Just the one Fez who just showed, who was just shown the door and he walked out basically.
Yeah.
Well, either way, a good game to you, sir. Hopefully this,
Yes,
hopefully this has been a helpful experience for you.
Yeah.
And if you are interested later on, I'm up for trying to do some friendly games with you to try and help you learn to use the Skavens. Although, I haven't played Skaven myself. I only read up on the guides on how they're supposed to be played, but if you are interested in some friendly matches that have no risk of your Skaven dying, then let me know.
Yeah, might be.
So that way we can get you more acclimated with this team.
Yeah.
Since the finesse teams are easily one of the harder teams to learn. Since it relies a lot on positioning and punishing mistakes. But you need to know what those mistakes are first to really punish them.
Yeah.
Alright, so you still have a blitz left for the possible chance of injuring one of my players for some additional experience. Alas, not this time. So only thing left you could do would be to pick up the ball and maybe do another fantasy pass with your thrower. Unless you want to somehow keep me from touching down, since my blitzer actually has the means to get to the other side or get a touchdown. Nice, another experience point for him. He's doing work with, what, two experience this game so far?
Yeah. Right, let's pop you.
Run, run like the wind. just run far away from here because now everyone wants to murder you.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain Jim and Bob are commenting about a brown streak now. Well, at least he didn't kill himself. That would not have been the way you want that to end.
I know, I'd got...
So let's see, I don't have much options here, but let's give this a try. I wasn't expecting knockdown. A push would have done. You have an apothecary, so you're still safe.
Well,
I believe you have an apothecary. Hopefully it was a good.
no casualty.
Because that was a that got intense quickly.
Yeah.
I failed to pick up. This is a bad start for trying to touch down. And I failed it. That's what that screen represents.
Yeah.
Well, good game to you nonetheless.
Right.
You
GG.
averted death yet again.
All thanks to an apothecary.
Well, that's what we paid them for.
Yeah.
They don't do much else unless it's the playoffs.
That's it.
Either way, congrats to you. Or, well, congrats on your level up so far.
Yeah. Thank
Hit
you.
me up if you want to try some friendly matches down the road. And hopefully I will see you for the playoffs, since I think everyone's still going to be doing those when the season itself is done.
Okay, yeah, hopefully I'll make it into playoffs.
Yeah, I think everyone is. It's just going to be you'll be facing off against... Well, I think it's like the higher winning opponents versus the lower, or the ones with the least winning.
Okay.
I think it's... At least that's normally how those type of playoffs work. So the highest ranks will face off against the lowest rank. But I think everyone's still going to be in the playoffs no matter what. This is just preparation and leveling up for it.
Now that's odd.
Yes.
I don't... I'm a dickhead.
What happened?
Oh,
you
do you know the geezer leveled up? He was a loner.
Oh yeah, it was offering... Oh, the MVP and all that?
Yep, and yeah, and I've literally just fucked off the loner.
Yeah, that can
without
suck there.
realising.
Yeah, because you have an opportunity to hire him, which
Yeah.
definitely isn't terrible. But since you currently have 2 linemen,
Oh, no. It's just come up the level up.
yeah, you can't really screw over the level ups. It'll just save for you even if you back out. It'll just save
Yeah.
the dice roll results, so you can't re-roll.
Right, what do I want to give a cut a runner?
There's a lot of things you can get there. It just depends on what kind of strategy you want to go with him. They can be a ball sacker with wrestle eventually, make him like a one-turn touchdown player with extra speed and agility.
Yeah.
There's all
First
sorts of
things
things.
He
Which-
is having block.
Block's never bad. It helps keep him alive. Basically, anyone who tries to bash him needs to get the POW specifically. All the other results will
Yeah.
just push him or be ignored.
Yeah.
So ideally you want him to carry the ball for you until you're ready to pass or do something drastic.
Yeah. That's it.
Alright.
Alright, dude, that was a good game.
Yep. No rats were killed, thankfully.
No.
So we
Which
can
is a
rest easy on that.
godsend.
And
So,
then just hit me up if you want to play some matches later on down the road to help you
Yeah.
get used to the rats more.
yeah, I will do.
Alright, take it easy there.
So, alright, dude. Cheers.
Alright, that was a fun match. Definitely a different experience for me personally, since I had to deal with like experienced players before up to this point. Even the High Elves, even though Eternal it's his first real endeavor playing as elves, he still was incredibly familiar with the Blood Bowl and how it worked out. In this case, it was a little more refreshing and it was at least an opportunity to get experience in, but still, no goddamn injuries. I got a lot of experience in, but they're on my level 2 blitzers. I want my other 2 blitzers to get to level up too, so that way I can get a potentially mighty blow and start diversifying my roster a bit. And hell, just look at my blockers. Not a single injury so far because Kyle here got MVP in the Amazon game, and I had him in back at the very start so that way he could try a pass to get the additional experience he needs for the level up. So they're not doing well on the injury front. Now it comes down to what do I want to get? Guard is probably the big one, so I'm probably going to go that route. Since what we've seen 4 games so far is they're not really good at killing stuff, since I want to have my blitzers do that just because of block. Wrestle doesn't help with that too much. At least until we're face off against dwarves or something that has block on everything. That's the exception. But I think I want guard just so I can have it available for the ogre match, because that combos pretty well with Dauntless. If I can get the rolls I need for that to succeed, that is. It was still a fun match though. I'm thankful I didn't murder my opponent too much, because that was always a possibility, since it kind of was the opposite experience of what I had to face off against Amazons. I had the superior Bashy team. Their team was still armor 7, but I didn't have to worry about them at least overpowering me. So I enjoyed that. Is it enough though? I was hoping for maybe another level up, and Jeremy is actually close to 1. At least gained to level 3, with Nathan being like MVP away for his, so it's not terrible. It's just not diverse. It's not spreading out the experience is what I mean to say. I would love to get these other 2 blitzers their level in, but hey, if they get injured, or if I have need to get rid of them, then at least it's not as terrible. Either way, thank you everyone for watching. Hopefully we can win against ogres and keep this record going, because it has been a rough 3 games to start off with after all.